Okay, so this is a video part 5 for the ball bounces and settles animation demo. So this is where I left off previously. Go from here, play it. What the hell? Right. So I'm gonna grab all my keyframes and on frame 38, right? Squish. Then 40 from 38 to 41 is gonna have a bounce. 38 to 41. So select all my controllers, right? Pan this over, Alt and middle mouse, and then 41. So it's Alt and greater than sign to kind of scrub forward. Alt and greater than. So that's bump 41. Hit S, right? And make sure to grab all my controllers, right? And so it's my third bounce. Okay, here's the highs of my previous bounces. Okay, now it's the third bounce, high. I'm gonna deselect everything. I'm gonna just grab my ball control COG. I'm gonna pull it up. What, 8 around here. Okay, that's on frame 41. Hit S. There you have it. Yeah. There you go. So, okay. And so I lifted it up. Bump, bump. You know, maybe from here, grab the controller, not the controller, but the key where you translate Y that I had just set. Alright, select it, make sure on that frame 41. Hold on Shift and middle mouse, and maybe I'll just yank it a little bit higher. So it's like, I don't know what, 9.789. All I did was just raise it from here up and down, see? Yeah. Just to give it a little more boost. And I noticed that my scale, right, I want to set back to normal. This is my center of gravity, the main one. Press 1, right? And it's okay if it looks like a saucer for now. Press S to nail it. And then press F. Let me select my scale. All that scale. Center of gravity. And here it is. So this means that this one here was at 0.821, right? Remember? From small scaled and then gradually going up to normal, which is 1. See that? 1 and 1. Ball control COG. But it looks still pretty fat, like a pancake. Oh yeah, also make sure to press S to lock in that change. And then I'm gonna grab my top squash. As you can see, this here going down means it got smashed down, and it just continued staying smashed down, which results with it looking kind of like a fat saucer, right? So if I go in here, frame 41, on the translate Y, put 0, which is its normal default height for my top squash, and then I hit S, because you see it's pink. Pink means that it hasn't been locked in yet. But watch what happens when I press S. Now it's for sure locked in, and see how this curve This is my translate Y. It goes back up to normal. Boom. See? I go back to 41. I'm gonna select my squash. See? And as you can see, that's this. If I select it, it's actually selecting him and him. So let me just select that. So this is your Y, which I never scaled. See, it said it's still back to 1. Right? So it's neutral all this time. And then I'm gonna, at 41, click on scale X, hold down Control, also click on scale Z, right, with the control being held down. Type in 1, it goes back to normal. But you notice this is kind of a pink color, so I need to lock it. Lock in the keyframe, press S as in Sam. There. And you can see this goes back to normal, which is 1. See, it's 1. 1. Alright. Boom. See? Pop. 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 Boom. 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 Okay, I'm gonna go back to the beginning. Alt and V as in Victor. See? Alright, so do that. Do an incremental save. 41. Alright. That one is done. Check it off. Alright. And then 41 and to 42, which is just one frame. 42 is basically it's stalling in the air just for one frame. Nothing more than that, because after that, more than that, it's gonna feel like it's kind of like stuck in the air rather than stalling in the air. It's just one frame, but visually it does help. So 41 is set, but 42, which is the next one. All right. Okay. Wait a minute. Did that move? Oh no, it didn't move. So 42, select everything, hit S. Right. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna select my COG. Right. COG on frame 42. For the translate Y, up and down. See, translate Y. Let's grab it. I can just hold down Shift and middle mouse. Shift will make it so that it only goes up and down. Middle mouse is to literally just grab it and come on, pull it down. Something like that. So a little bit lower. So see that here, and then next one, a little bit lower. 9.448, 8.808. Okay. And then after that, it's going to be 42 to 45, where it falls and makes contact. So let me just check something. I grab my COG. I'm making sure, just checking up on my scales for COG. Let me check my scale for my top squash. It's 1. Bottom squash is also at 1. Right, just want to see if there's anything different. So I guess it's fine. Because at where it reaches the high point, that's when everything kind of regroups, you know, where it kind of collects itself. Its main body mass kind of regroups, you know, the mass comes together again back to neutral at this high point. Pop. See? Alright, anyway, so check. And then from 42 to 45 is a contact, landing. Select everything, pan this over, holding down the Alt and the middle mouse, pan it over, and I'm gonna scrub it to 45. Hit S, so I can lock it in, so I know where my major keyframe is gonna happen next. I make sure I had all my animation controls selected. Then I'm gonna let go. I'm gonna select my COG, which is here, right? COG, which is this guy right there. Under the translate Y, type in 0 to bring it back down to this baseline. Well, but you notice nothing happened here, so I have to press S to lock it in. Bop, boom. So it's quick. So it kind of settles into a rattle, like pop, 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 pop. See? Yeah. All right. And then grab all of that. Change the color. Do that. Frame 45 and 46, right? 45 here and 45 here, that's the same one. And then at 46 it's gonna squash, because 45 was the contact, right? Where it's making contact with the floor. I'm gonna select everything, okay, like that. Pan this over, and then I'm gonna do at 46, right? So it looked like it moved, but it didn't. It did not move. It just flickered. 46, press S. Right. So at frame 46, he needs to squash. But when I squash, I want a couple of things to be aware of. For example, this squash, right? Or that's contact, and then squash. Okay. The previous squash, which is here. And see how it's kind of a little bit more bottom heavy. Let me go here. See how it's kind of more wider, bottom heavy. I want to continue that characteristic for him. Okay. Yeah, and also you see how it's up to here, the width. So on this one, when I come back over here, I don't want it to be wider. It would not make sense for the next squash to be wider. It should be less, less, and less, and less. So that's my objective. So I'm gonna contact squish. I'm gonna grab that. My top squash. Press W. Squish it. Right. So I squished it. Right. Top squash. But I need to press S to lock it in. Right. So this here, this was my previous squish. Right. Because I know, because translate Y, pushing it down. See? Here, and you notice how it got fatter, right? I have to counteract it right after that, how I did previously. So, but in the meantime, I wanna grab here my translate Y for my top squash, select it, hold down Shift, hold on the middle mouse button. Yeah, I'm just gonna lower it, so it's slightly above the previous one. Right. then let me turn on my grid. Let me go back to frame 38. I'm going to just zoom in and notice how many squares. 1 square unit, 2, 3 square units, and a pinch more. Right? So I'm just making note of how wide this moment in time, when it is squashing on frame 38, how wide this is. Because on frame 46, I need to make it definitely less wide than this, because it goes back to being way wider. So I want to avoid that. So now at frame 46, I'm gonna select my ball control COG. Again, that's this guy right here. Okay. I'm gonna highlight my scale X, Y, and Z, just here. And you don't see that. Oh, I see it right there. Scale X and scale Y, they're overlapping. Watch what happens when I hold down control and then select scale Z. They overlap. That's why you don't see the other color. Right? But the scale Y, you leave alone. Do not scale the Y regarding your ball center of gravity, because it just scales, it just makes problems. So I'm gonna just grab scale X, hold on control, so I can select scale Z as well. I'm gonna zoom out, right? Frame 46. I'm gonna select that keyframe. Just select it like that. Hold on Shift, hold on the middle mouse button, pull it down. So it has to at least be up to here. So it at least matches him and him. Zoom in, right? And I don't like this being such a dramatic angle, sloping. When I see it visually, I'm gonna hold down Control, hold on Alt, hold on Shift, right mouse button, drag to my right. That way I can manipulate how this looks like. Then I can just zoom out a bit, hold on Alt and the right mouse button. Alright, so pop, 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 pop. Ooh, that's too much though. Let me turn off my controller. This guy right there. Okay, so I did that. I want to select my bottom squash, right? Because right now it's just default normal. And let me select my scale X, Y, and Z. And then kind of want to make it bottom heavy, like the last time I did it before. Bottom heavy, you know, with my bottom squash. I can select all of it and type in like what, 0.105, a small increment. See what I just did? Hit S. Alright, so I paused the video for a second. And from where I left off, where it's bounce, bounce, bounce. So this part here, right, I think it's too much in terms of how much I'm making it the mass less chunky, right? Because here's before, not before, but the previous squash, and here's the final, the next squash after. Watch. See? So what what I'm thinking is I'm gonna grab my bottom, right? Press F. Select all of that. Zoom in. Okay, right here. And you'll notice I have here red. That's because I did not set the keyframe for my scale Y for my bottom squash. So, and for the bottom squash, it's okay to have all the X, Y, and Z scaled. It's only the COG that's the issue, right? Only the COG. But as for the bottom squash, you know, I'm just gonna go in here under 38, frame 38, right? Because I don't want to confuse people, because all of it is green. All of a sudden, there's a red. So I'm just gonna make also the scale Y, which is green, make it 1.15 as well for frame 38. Regarding your bottom squash, frame 38, scale Y, type in 1.15, right? Then hit S. Right, so I just have consistency in the color, right? Frame 38 for the bottom squash, right? So it's all green. Doesn't really matter, but since you're learning, I don't want anything that might cause even a little bit of confusion with the colors, right? So going back to this, frame 46. I want the bottom, right? Bottom squash, which is I have selected. Let's make it instead of 1.05, make it, I don't know, 1.085, right? A bit more chubby down here at the bottom, a little bit more chubby, right? Hit S. As soon as I hit S, it raised up a bit. This, right, is selecting everything. See, X, Y, and Z. So that's all I did. Now if I squish, squish, right? So squish, 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 squish. Yeah, there you go, there you go. Make that out. Squish, squish, squish. See? Squish, squish, squish. Squish, squish, squish. Right. Yeah. Just trying to maintain, you know, the mass so that it makes sense how much of the mass is expanding and contracting. Alright, so that's gonna be the end of that. Alright, so frame 45, 46, nailed it, select it, color it, there. So this will be the last one. This one right here. Boom, 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 boom. These ones. So I'm gonna cut this video, finish off now. This is exactly 23 minutes, give or take. And that's the end of that. Bye.